Michele LeAnn Morgan. July 20, 1957 – August 11, 1961. Was an American child abuse victim who was murdered by her stepmother at the age of 4. Her story was documented on an episode of Cold Case Files. Abuse. Michele suffered multiple injuries to the chest and back, a broken nose, burns on her skin, and a broken arm before the age of 4 at the hands of her stepmother, Mary Ray. These led to over 20 visits to a hospital, including one in which she was hospitalized for a month. Murder. On August 9, 1961, Mary held Michele underwater and stomped her violently, believing that the child had lied about something. These actions were seen by Michelle's older brother, George. At dinner, Michele threw up blood clots. The next day she died of her internal injuries. An autopsy was conducted by the pathologist at the army base where the Morgans lived, and the cause of death was found to be massive trauma to the chest. The autopsy report was not completed until 15 years later, when the coroner listed the cause of death as pneumonia. The local prosecutor never pursued the case. Disclosure. In 1996, George Morgan, Michelle's older brother, was serving time in prison for rape. That year, he decided to research his family genealogy and was surprised when he saw his sister's death certificate. He recalled the circumstances surrounding her death and was certain that it was not caused by pneumonia, and that it had occurred in 1961, not in 1976. Morgan then corresponded with County Coroner Rick Stone and disclosed to him how Michelle's death really occurred. Stone subsequently reopened the Michele LeAnn's case and Michelle's body was exhumed. Though the body had been buried for over 30 years, it still showed the marks of brutal child abuse. Investigators discovered the original autopsy report and Michelle's hospital record, which showed multiple visits. George Morgan's claims were thus substantiated. Prosecution. Mary Morgan was tracked down in West Columbia, Texas, and initially denied the allegations leveled against her. She then attempted to flee the country but was caught and placed under arrest. She eventually pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and was sentenced to 5 years in prison and was released in 2001. In the years after Michelle's death, Mary raised 4 children. Hospital records showed that the 4 of them had collectively visited the hospital over 150 times for medical care before the age of 5. See also: List of murdered American children. United We Stand Against Child Abuse. Uncovering Answers in Child Death. Cold Case Files, Through the Eyes of a Child. The Killer Next Door. Transcript. Michele LeAnn Morgan at Find a Grave.